Hey there, welcome back. This is Shireen. We're going to continue on our journey to introducing you guys to Photoshop and getting more familiar with the tools. Of course, Photoshop is well known for its heavy lifting. It's really about that photo editing, photo imaging capabilities, really manipulating and creating some really beautiful effects. So in this case, we're going to jump over now. We've looked at our photo editing tools here that maximize from content aware functionality. We've taken a look at the Superstar Clone tool, and now I want to call your attention over to our layers panel. And in particular, under the theme of photo editing, I wanted to show you guys this feature called adjustment layers. So you can find adjustment layers here. There's this circle. I always say, well, if you're from New York, you'll know what I'm talking about, the black and white cookie. There's this delicious half black and white cookie, but if you're not from New York, you don't get the reference. It's the one that has half black, half white circle. Come down here and you're going to see a bunch of different options for adjustment layer. You can also get to those by going under layer and get your adjustment layers from there as well. But I'm just more familiar with working directly with my layers panel. And so here is a very, very, very delicious bowl of sorbet that I had at one point over the summer. And let's just show you the capability of adjustment layers. So for example, let's look at brightness and contrast. We can make this photo a little bit perkier by kind of increasing. Look at that, just a tiniest little touch made a big difference. If I wanted to see what Photoshop suggested, I could hit auto. It kind of will take a time and assess and see where it can tweak. And it actually, in my opinion, I think I did a better job. So I'm going to really increase that brightness again, but it increased the contrast again. So I can kind of make my own edits. And what I want to show you is that I think it's a really, really nice, brighter photo. Brightness and contrast, but I think it's a perkier photo. It has a lot more energy, and at any point I can always return to that original image. That means that we're doing non-destructive edits, and it gives us the freedom to really play. So let's continue to add some more adjustment layers to this. Let's look at levels. All right, so this has to do with midpoint, whites and darks, so the highlights and the shadows. So you can kind of change the midpoint, you can increase the shadow, right? So you can kind of play around there. So I think that little tweak was good. But again, if I'm not sure what difference it made, I can again be toggling the visibility on and off accordingly. Let's see what the next one, curves. Now curves, I want to show you, to me, I think, you know, this one has sort of an extra superpower. Curves right now, we're talking again sort of the shadow and the light and the ratio of both. Usually what I do is I just kind of write from the middle. If I want it to be a little bit lighter, I go in that direction. If I want it to go darker, I go more. This histogram here kind of shows where the color information is. So the more the further away I move, right, the less, right, moving into more color. So that's the standard RGB, where it's applying this to the RGB, the format for, you know, how we perceive light, red, green, blue, and it's applying it equally across those channels. But what I want to show you about the curves, this is going to be a related topic, is the idea that curves also, we can also work with the mask functionality. So let me show you kind of what that means. In the case of my delicious sorbet here, let's say that I only want to focus on getting the sorbet itself to be a little bit more vibrant, a little bit redder, but I want to keep sort of the background color of the table this gray. I don't want it to perform the adjustment across the whole image, just a certain image. So what I can do is I can go under curves. Well, what I can do first of all is I'll go under red, because red is the target color I want to affect. And I just want to show you, right, so it's a little bit brighter now. We see that perky difference, right? And then I can go here within the curves. All of this is within the adjustment layer. I can take it off at any time, but within curves, I can also move into mask mode. I'm going to grab a brush, and in mask mode, black kind of works as an eraser. So black is like erasing away. So look what's happening. We're kind of erasing away wherever that filter has been, wherever that adjustment has been applied. And you see how our gray table is coming back now. What about that spoon? See, it's losing a little bit of that redness. So the redness is just applied where I want, and then I can apply nice big brush there. And because of the kind of image it is, I'm able to work a little bit quickly because I'm in this demo here, but there we go. All right, so you can see also too, I'm really getting into the bowl, trying to just keep the red adjustment layer to the aspect of the image that I want. And look at the mask that I created there. So you could even see, based on that little thumbnail, I could see that I had a couple white specks still. So that's the mask. That's the channel that I created for red, the curves adjustment layer that I applied. And I just want to show you the difference there. So you see it gave it a lot more intensity, and I can at any point take off any of the masks that I've applied or keep them all on accordingly. I think that, again, you know, the rest of them, vibrance, right? All of these have that same capability. Again, I could have applied vibrance and then gone back into mask mode and applied it only to a select area. Working with masks is similar to working with the selection. So if you go back through the playlist, check out Introduction to the Selection Tools. It's another way to just isolate and say, apply this edit or focus my concentration of what I'm working on just on this isolated area of the image. We're working with raster, we're working with pixels, so we need some way to say these pixels, not those. And so selecting and masking are the ways that we do that. So I would say definitely go through the adjustment layers. Black and white, same thing too. We can put a mask on that, and then with our black, well, actually, let's do the opposite. Let me do the ice cream. Ah, fun. All right, so we can kind of just apply the mask. Let me move really, really quickly. My brush is really big. Might not be precise, but I'm trying to, again, kind of show you that you have the freedom to do all this playing around with the benefit that you're not ever affecting the actual image. There you go. How's that? Makes me want to go eat some ice cream. All right, so play around. All right, this is in mask mode, selecting to only apply the black and white. Wherever there's white in that little thumbnail, you understand that that means that the adjustment is being applied. Wherever there's black, that means the adjustment is not being applied there. So you can kind of use this as a gauge. You can, as you're drawing, add more feathering. We talked about feathering. If you're not familiar with that, again, check out my Intro to Selection Tools. Move back into this mode. We can even add, right, more density, etc. So you can continue playing around. I really want you to kind of check out and see all the fun things that you can do. Black and white filters, some photo filters, inverting. Crazy, that looks like the earth. All right, so imagine all the different surprises in store for you. Check it out, give it a whirl. Adjustment layers, the best way, I think, to kind of get a lot of freedom and flexibility and go out of your comfort zone, see what new fun surprises await, okay? After this, we're gonna continue on our road of learning about the layers panel, and we're gonna learn about blending modes, all right? So I'll see you then. Any questions? Please please ask me your questions in the comments panel, and don't forget to hit subscribe. I'm working on my channel. I appreciate your support. Enjoy the ride. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.